Christian responses to CRISPR gene editing technology are diverse, reflecting differences among Catholic, Orthodox, and Protestant traditions. Yet across these traditions, there is a strong shared moral core. Christian ethics consistently centers on the sanctity of human life, moral intention, and the protection of the most vulnerable. At the heart of Christian bioethics is the belief that human life is sacred because it is created in the image of God, what theology calls imago Dei. This belief does not depend on a person's abilities, stage of development, or health status. From conception to natural death, human life is understood to possess inherent dignity and moral worth. Any use of CRISPR is therefore evaluated first through the question, does this action honor or undermine the sacredness of human life? From this foundation, Christian ethics draws an important moral distinction between healing and manipulation. The ministry of Jesus is filled with acts of healing, restoring sight, curing disease, alleviating suffering. Because of this, many Christian ethicists affirm that using gene editing to treat disease in existing patients can align with Christian moral teaching. When CRISPR is used therapeutically to correct genetic mutations in a child or adult in order to restore health, it is often seen as a continuation of medicine's healing vocation. However, serious moral concerns arise when CRISPR moves beyond therapy into alteration of embryos or the design of traits. Many Christian traditions hold that human embryos already possess moral status as human lives. As a result, research or interventions that involve the destruction, experimentation upon, or instrumental use of embryos are widely opposed. Even when the goal is medical progress, the means matter. Christian ethics rejects the idea that good outcomes justify morally impermissible actions. This concern becomes especially sharp with germline editing, where genetic changes are made to embryos and passed on to future generations. Here, Christians raise multiple objections: the lack of consent from future persons, the irreversibility of changes, and the danger of turning human life into a product of technological control rather than a gift received with humility. The language of designer babies captures a deep theological anxiety that children could be valued for engineered traits rather than their inherent worth. Another major concern is the commodification of human life. If genetic traits can be selected, enhanced, or marketed, human beings risk being treated as customizable objects rather than persons with dignity. Christian ethics strongly resists any framework in which human life becomes a commodity shaped by consumer preference, social pressure, or economic advantage. Because of these concerns, a broad Christian consensus has emerged. Somatic gene therapy, which edits non-reproductive cells in order to treat disease in a particular patient, is often viewed as morally permissible under careful oversight. Germline editing, enhancement technologies, and embryo manipulation, however, are widely regarded as morally problematic. In short, Christianity does not reject CRISPR outright. It asks a deeper question: does this technology serve life, or does it redefine life on purely technological terms? Healing that respects dignity is welcomed. Power that eclipses moral restraint is not. For Christian ethics, the ultimate issue is not scientific capability, but faithful stewardship of life entrusted by God.